Alright guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, keep on sharing that content far and wide. We really and truly appreciate it. So as you can see by the title, we're going to approach this post-match analysis a little bit different. We're going to be doing the headline, what have we learned? Due to the fact that Jamaica has a lot of problems when it comes on to the football and from 1998 until now. So obviously every single time after a campaign, good or bad, we are going to be bringing a series like this. What have we really learned? All right, obviously this version will be in a live stream format, but the next ones will be more in a more documented format. All right, so but nevertheless this one will still be spicy because we will give a personal's opportunity to say their piece as well. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to be talking about in this one. All right, so for instance, you have a few best things that happened that was groundbreaking in this tournament. All right, kudos to the youths that tried their best. We have to give them credit at the start. All right, kudos to the youth that tried their best. But remember, we are here to make sure we're advertised and point things out that can improve Jamaica at all times. So what am I going to be talking about? The JFF in this one, what they had done and what they could do to improve things on the field displays, because obviously we can't avoid that. Coaching as well, we are going to go through that as well, and what overall some of these players can really become. All right, yes. So we saw personally in the chat, we saw Martin Baker, massive respect. Thanks very much for being here. One Jamaica, he said. Walter Dominic said, what you thought about the game Jamaica Guatemala? We are going to get into that as well. Don't worry yourself. We don't rush the show as yet. So just make sure you just keep on subscribing, keep on sharing. All right. First, you have to say thanks for the 3,900 subscription as well. All right. So let me move over to what took place in the final game. So Jamaica played Guatemala yesterday. Guatemala, they are the host country, so you expected them to really come out and try their best. So if Jamaica is going to win it, they are going to make sure it's extremely tough for them to do so. And to be honest, they came out with that fire. The crowd had the fire to back them, and they delivered on the night. All right. Yes, they scored the first one. First one, they got a penalty. I look back at the penalty. TikTok said it was not a penalty. I heard other individuals said it's not a. It's not a penalty. But after watching it myself, I want to say that it is a penalty, because it doesn't matter what happened. Once you make contact and you stop the player from making a additional advancement towards the goal, whether you see him or not, or whether if it's accidental, it is a penalty. So when upon review, it is a penalty. All right. Obviously we know that we wanted to win and we wanted everything to go in our favor, but it never went in our favor. So that was a penalty, and that was solely based on the attitude that Guatemala started the game with. They wanted to make sure they made a statement, and a statement they made in the first half indeed, because the first half ended with Jamaica had like 30+% possession and a very low amount of passes, maybe like 60 passes in total. They tried like 100+ passes, but they only completed like 60 because they were pressing in between the attacking and the defensive and midfield third. The gap that we always said is available. They made sure to exploit those little areas and took advantage of it, and it worked well in the first half. First half, Jamaica but should have been at least 2-0 down. They missed a penalty and they scored a worldly goal, and another free big chance created inside the box, but it was not on target. All right, so they were definitely the dominant force. Jamaica had to come back and fight extremely hard to get back something in the game, because remember, they are in their own elements. I've always used that, not making any excuse for Jamaica, but I've always used that due to the fact that I believe that if you're at home, I've always said that to you guys, if you're at home, it's always easier for you to function, because you're in your own elements, and that's exactly what played them. They exploited that to the T and fully deserve. It's their home ground. What else you expect? They should come out and dominate. You are you are the visitor. You have to come out with that extraordinary push in order to turn them over, and that was just not there. Even when Jamaica got the goal, it was going to come off of a set piece, because they never had the energy to score off anything else, to be honest. They never had the energy, and the reason why they never had the energy is because they have been pressed, and they have to either go long and then fight to get the ball inside the box, or play through all the presses. And these guys were willing to sacrifice everything to win that one, Guatemala. So that's based on our side, they are fully deserved victors. All right, not going to eat on no team. They're fully deserved victors. They were the better team from start until finish. But what we can learn from this, is the title of the video, because it has been passed now, guys. So we can look at it from somewhere else. All right. So let me know. We're going to take calls later, but for now, let me just finish my points, go through the comment section and everything, and then get to the calling and everything. All right, so make sure they come in, smash that like button, share, and subscribe. All right, and let me get some comments that's already up and running. All right, so thanks everyone that actually turned up. All right, love the topic. All right, so people like it. That's very good. That's very good. All right, feeling the youths again. Well, no problem. That's why we're here to have a reasonable conversation that can turn somewhere else, you know. And that, Dr. Dan, bless yourself. Thanks for being here. Jamaican footballers highlights it, very disappointing. Yes, it's disappointing indeed, but we still have to look from a different side. Jamaica qualified to their first U17 at home, JD. So that is true. All right. Yes. And I'm just speaking from what I've analyzed. So that's why it might come off to be true. It was not something I've checked, you know. So surprising, it's actually true. All right. What have Jamaica learned? That's a new one. Well, we. So you in the chat learned something. All right. Yes. You in the chat learned something. But most Guatemalan players do so in the US. Big up yourself, Sato. How are you doing, man? Hope all is well. I'm going to follow the rest of the tournament, you know. But because I said I had this one, I wanted to just come and do it for Jamaica. But I've normally covered the entire tournament. Because you see, education, any man that try to lead you away from education, tell you not to watch certain things and not to be informed, those are always the problem, people. For me, I will watch all football as much as I can, because that's what educates you and what can help you towards your target at the end of the day. All right, like we're gonna get into the matter. All right, the first thing, what experience. We have a lot of kids that went there that never had that normal experience. Let me make sure I can get this up for you, the actual roster, so you can get it right here, so I can actually talk on it. So experience is the first thing they got. All right, experience is the first thing they got overall. All right, 1 second, let me pull this up. All right, good. So I am trying to maximize it to give it to you right here. So experience is the first thing they got. A lot of Jamaican kids were actually on the listing. Most of them would not have traveled before. Most of them would have not have played at that level of football before. All right. Yes, even one of them, one of the players made the best 11. So that's something. So they got experience experience. All right, so that in itself can go back to Jamaica, the ones that are going to be playing in Jamaica. So this is the listing of the Jamaicans that we have here. So we had learned about Tawian Lynch. He's the goalkeeper. He played in the first two matches, looks solid. Obviously, the additional goalkeeper of Joshua Grant really outshined him due to the fact that he made some fantastic saves. Everyone can see that, but we still remembered Tawian Lynch. Mount Pleasant is coming from Akanabi. We remembered let me skip out that side first, but Tahir Dixon, obviously he was the one that's at fault for the goal. Gooden from stats, we know him from the Manning Cup, and then we saw him scored a good goal yet again. So those two individuals, Gooden and Dixon, we remember them. All right, Dylan John, he looks like a good player. Barrett looks like a good player. Orion Watson hold up the ball well. All right, which school this player comes from? Which school Orion Watson comes from? Let me know, guys. Which school he comes from? Jamani Bell. He is the one that made the best 11 here. As you can see, he made the best 11 from the first part of the group, the group stage. He made the best 11 from the group stage, and they talked about his passing accuracy. So even though Jamaica never had the best passing experience, he was still a diamond in the rough to get the passing going. All right, so he made sure to be clean on his passing, and that helps his image out there, and he made the best 11 list. Obviously, if they had played the big stars them, because Mexico, United States never really played their big stars in all of the games, so they are not on it. All right, so it's kind of not the real reality, but this is what I've been given. So Jamaica got a player on it, and it's still a big feat nonetheless. All right, yes, but I have to give you the facts as well to say that you have others that would have been on it if they had played all of the games. You get me? Figueroa, he literally scored a billion goals later in the tournament. He was on the bench from the start because United States never came here to make up a best 11 because they are one of the best teams. So they know that. So their intention is to go out and win tournaments. So their rotation policy means people will be on the bench even if you're good, because they have already assessed what the job requires and what they're going to put out there, and everyone know about it. So it's a team game, and that's what I've said Jamaica need to lead towards. But that is far in the future. That is when you're already at that peak level, and you want to you start winning, and then winning becomes an habit, so you start strategize, so people know exactly what is required to be in that team. So that is the difference, that is the fine line. But we are not there. That is United States and Mexico. They could afford to do that. They have all the programs set up and everything. All right, but Jamani Bell, he was one of the individuals that got picked out and got selected nonetheless. But I have to give you the backstory to everything. Molina, to me, Molina looks like the best player in the team, but this team never really set up good to get the most out of him. But if you look at his actual skill set, you realize that he might be the most he might be the person that further in his development. You understand me? But I don't think the coaching did them the good service to get the best out of your best players. I think the coach had his system, and people have to convert to his system. I think that's the way it goes. It's not the best players, and then change your system to facilitate the best players, and then others follow along, because that's how you get maybe not full rigid teams to perform to that level. All right, yes. So basically, we have learned about a few players. These players will be injected back in Jamaica, so that is experience going back to Jamaica, so that will aid in some level of development. And then we had foreign overseas based players coming in at a youth level. Don't forget that part. That is very much important. Foreign personnel coming in at a youth level. At first I heard personnel said oh, they don't believe that younger players will actually come in. All right, well, now we see it for ourselves that younger players are willing to come in and get the job done, and not just willing, their parents are actually motivating them to come and play for Jamaica. So that's a groundbreaking situation, because what that does, it cancel all of the stories that we were hearing before, that players don't want to play for Jamaica, and at a younger age they won't come and stuff. All of those things are cleared up. So that's something that we learned, and I don't think it's going to be repeated. So as of now, you're going to always see at least some Jamaicans, overseas Jamaicans that are at a higher level until Jamaica can get up to that level, be in the team. So that is definitely a plus. That is definitely a plus. And that is something to actually push Jamaica further. Because remember, we always said that at this level, oh, we want our players in the country to develop. Well, we have gotten a reality check here on the listing that nobody have time for that. You're going to develop in your country via your leagues. And when it comes on to the national team, it's the best of the best. Make the national team. If you're good enough playing inside the country, you're going to be on the list. If you're not good enough, they are going to go outside and spend their money. And you saw that in all of the listing, all of the names, all of the countries, they have done the same. Some countries, oh, ironic, Guatemala, they have a good league. Haiti, they have a good league. Damrep, they have a good league. Honduras, they have a good league. But and you realize more people comes from them. And then whatever outside and they're better, this make sure to get them. You get me? So that cleared up. I don't think you're going to hear any level of football and Jamaica here telling that kids don't want to come. Under 15 persons have called me for under 15 tournaments that they want their kid to play for Jamaica. So that has been cleared up. So this tournament have actually put in a lot of good things, even though they never qualified. It's instilled. It's a start of a lot of things that they can't undone. They can't undone these things. All right, it's there. So that is one more thing there, guys. All right. Um, on the overall trip itself, now the overall trip, I what I've heard, I cannot confirm that is true, based off like physical proof. No, not physical proof, but I never heard directly from any source. I just heard it here that they never knew about certain things inside Guatemala and stuff. So when it comes onto the coaching side, I would consider them as a failure this time because they never properly coached and set up things in order to fit in Guatemala. They just brought the kids in there, which is very bad. So when everyone was running up and down, oh, we are getting a friendly. We never realized that we have an altitude problem. Um, and oh, you're going to acclimatize towards it. You get me? And I think everybody else knew that. So the preparation was terrible. If you're going there to qualify for something, if you're going in something blind, how can it be successful? You're going back down to the wishful good thinking thing. You understand me? And that is the biggest problem. So I would class this trip as a failure due to the on the coaching side. It would have been a failure. On the preparation coaching side, it would have been a failure because at no point they have actually structured a way how the guys them could be beneficial towards the altitude situation. They have not acclimatized at no point. Every single game, they can't play more than 45 minutes out of a game. You understand me? And I truly believe that's down to the preparation and the coaching as well. All right. So those are my pointers. I've made sure to put them together so I can have that conversation. So no problem. Gonna go through the comment section. Hopefully you guys hit the like button, share, and subscribe so you can make more people come to the channel and we can have more hard conversation. All right. Yes. So Soto, thanks very much for being here. I think the goalkeeper made okay. All right, fair. Bless up yourself, Chris Smith. Thanks for being here. I learned that JA coaches thing that football plays for 70 minutes, not 90. Okay, all right, nice. Thank you very much, Africans are passing through. Massive respect. Chris Smith said, I don't think the people running the football learn anything that they are going to keep. Not anything. They are going to keep doing the same thing. But if we have learned as the 12th man things, we can put it back into the ethos. We are the ones that always pressure them on YouTube. So if we have learned thing, Christmas, you can't say they have not learned anything, because we already have our stance. They have to approach us for we to help them. And if we don't see it's going the right way, we are not going to help them. You understand me, Christmas? So we have to understand. At some point, we can say they have learned. I think they have learned just the same. These people leading the youths are underdeveloped. How could we really expect something different from what took place? But when I structured everything, remember they were doing some other revamps and stuff. So that's why I tempered my expectations and I tried to find the most respectful way to put it on record. All right, yes, but I do agree with you that it's a lot of not not what's required. All right, yes, because if I use the uneducated, people will take it as offensive, but not what's required at this level. um pushing pushing for something higher above their peer grade, yes. Why was not Algrim was why was Algrim not involved in the development? I do believe that it's because this deal was made before they signed Algrimson, because I heard the coach spoke and he stated that, oh, he had his team. So that's why I was surprised when people saying that he had a trials overseas, because he said he needed only a few more players. And I played that clip and I said that clip is gonna come back to Auntie, because he knows something why he's saying he has his team. And then we got way more players than the norm, but they weren't selected. Oh, ironic. A man said he had his team way months before I played the clip on TVJ, and then after you realize it's a designed amount of players could fit in the team. So that's the next thing need to cut out. There is no quota system no quota system in worldwide football, because if you have the England system and 80 of them come from outside of England and want to play for England, they're going to play for England. I'm not asking, they are going to play for England. All right. So the quota system need to stop. Maislin, thanks for being here. Watson's from Glenmore. All right. Thanks. Big up, big up. Don't underrate Mangatal. No, I've not underrated anyone. I've just said we have remembered the people. That's all. I've not, and I never tried to underrate no one. All right. We need proper coaches. No CRB licensed coaches. Only should coach 5 or 7 years old. This is bigger than them. I think most of our JA overseas players have more football education than our local coaches. Okay, so you think that's what caused the problem. What I've learned is that our local coaches aren't up to standard when it comes to developing players, or dealing with players as well. You could drop that in it. To start, the U17 format is ridiculous. What is wrong with the U17 format? Let me know. Dan Youth, let me know what is wrong with the U17 format, because I see nothing wrong with it. Unless you're talking about the other teams that came in the latter stages, but they had played their competition. The problem is you couldn't put everybody in a big pool to qualify, and some of these teams qualified via what their other counterparts did. All right, so if you said it's ridiculous, Dan Youth, let me know which part you said it's ridiculous. All right, good afternoon, Big Boss. Hope all is well. Most of the youths in academy are those the coach to blame. All right, most of the youths in academies are those the coach to blame. Okay, all right. Import foreign coach for the grassroots development. We have one of the foreign coaches here. African said, my quick take is prep time as well as building bridges. If there was a way for a larger pool to be gathered and play some friendlies across the southern US, this will help development and recruitment. Yes, I do agree there. Having foreign-born players in the team at this level will not solve the fundamental problems of football in Jamaica. So why is it solving Damrep? Why is it solving Honduras? Why is it solving Puerto Rico? Why is it solving everyone else than youth? Just let me know. because I think it's solving it just the same. And I think you're not thinking deep. That's why you're not seeing how much of a big success it is to get youth here from earlier. One, they get acclimatized towards Jamaica's society and the way of thinking and what is required. If one of them be a breakout star, they will more likely choose Jamaica in the end because Jamaica gave them the opportunity. The kids them that's from Jamaica that does not have the highest level of development got an opportunity to play with players of higher development, and that would aid them. They could bring it back to their people to aid their people as well. All right, and obviously better players on the park give you a better opportunity to win something. So with all of that said, then you Jamaica, if you don't see that as a plus, well, it looks like you're just thinking down the wrong path. Because I can tell you, you could not have gathered a 20-man squad from out of the Manning Cup and really be competitive. All right? Yes, because we saw that we weren't all that competitive, if you want me to be honest to you. All right? Or unless you're not looking at football the way how football is being run today. Agree, JD. I said that last night. The coaches fail the guys. We have used foreign-born players at every level and still failed. So the point is mute. I think. I think obviously. I think you're not understanding the word development. I think you're not understanding the word development, and that is where the problem is coming off. All right, we have used local born youths, and we never got anywhere either. So what is the point of that? Should we not go to the competition? And that cancel your conversation. That cancel your conversation ASAP. It dead there. We have used local youth, and we don't reach nowhere. So should we not enter the competition? Please let me know. All right? Yeah, because clearly you're not coming off as a person that's looking at the entire picture. The under-17s is not the only competition Jamaica goes in. You have a grown-up league, you have under-20s, you have under-15s. All right? We don't produce enough talent to compete with nobody if you want reality. All right? The football world have taken talents, the same talents that you're trying to mute, that's what they have added to their squads. All right. So because they are a better footballing nation than we, and they have added the better players than we, they're going to be astronomically ahead of we. All right. Yes. So maybe you need to just relax, Mr. Dan, you Jamaica, and then you can join a different video. You can definitely join a different video because the standpoint what you're coming off from, I don't think you're reasoning well. You know, you're not reasoning well. All right. It's a great experience. We scored on everybody. That's a drastic improvement. Thank you very much. All right, that is good. Kevin, big up yourself. Massive respect. Blessings, Drew Fortis. Hope all is well. Mad vibes, manners. With they, I know I have to give Canada their utmost respect. Canada saved their best game for last. They are big. They are there. All right. They have impressed me. Mad vibes. I know. And I'm very sorry, but I thought that 80 could have done something. I'm very sorry. The group have school life, family life. Okay, all right. They could have seen how the U17 matchup by having scrimmage. They could have seen how out. Okay. All right. The chat run past me. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let me try and get the rest of them. Big up yourself, Kevin. Massive respect. Mr. Speed can now put his argument to bed that Jamaica local footballers can compete with Mexico and United States. We had known that that was not true. All right, we had known that was not true, but maybe he meant something different. He needs to come and clear up those things. But we had known that that's not true. All right. Football Global, big up yourself. Thanks very much for being here. I say ridiculous because too many games in a short space of time. All right. You realize the World Cup. You realize the main tournament. Have you seen all other competition? Because every single World Cup, every single tournament, That's how it runs. Done youth. So I don't know if you actually check out all the other tournaments. I've covered all the other tournaments, and that's exactly how it run. All right. The only difference is it's 16 teams, and the next one started with 32. So the 32 makes more spacing for games because you have less stadiums. All right. So that's why the big game go 2 times the distance. But that's how it always go. Than youth. So I don't know. Oh, it's ridiculous when it's something that was always there and run the same way. All right. Yes. All right, so let me try and get them some more. Learn from the Reggae Girls. Choose the best available player. All right, done you. That is the next thing. A good point that someone else brought up. The Reggae Girls pick overseas and the personnels that show talent from Jamaica, and that's what's happening. What we have learned is simple, guys. We have to be honest to ourselves, and I don't think nobody on planet Earth can come and tell me anything otherwise. I am studying football, and clearly we had something from 1998, and this is where I'm going to stop my conversation. I will take calls. All right. We have something from 1998 when we said, when Rennie Simons came in and said that, okay, we're going to build a core here in Jamaica and then get the icing on the cake. Icing on the cake was 4 Englishmen that came in a dire time of need, and they did deliver. Well, all I'm saying to you now today, guys, I'm being flat out honest. At all levels, if we are going to be competing with worldwide footballers, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. For the next 20 years, the only way we can compete with worldwide footballers is if the ice the cake switch over to our outside personnels. They are still Jamaicans, but they are outside. So it's going to always be more of the higher profile players them playing in higher leagues, and then the icing and the cake be the persons them in the local side. Whether you like it or not, I am just telling you that's the route to success now. If you go at Damrep, the same thing in that Damrep. Oh, I don't hear people eating on them. The same thing happening in Damrep. The same thing happening in Port. The same thing happening in the same thing happening. I know I got. I said let me finish my statement, Cataract, please. No, man. I told you I'm gonna let me just finish my statement. Then I can open this calling, please. All right. The same thing happened because I want to make sure I'm very clear, and these are my own words. The same. These are the facts. These are the facts. All right. The same thing happened in 80. The same thing happened in Damrep. 2. The same thing happened in Dominican Republic. 3. All right. And the same thing happened in Bermuda. 4. All right. And the same thing happened in Suriname. 5. The same thing happened in Curacao. 6. And it just keep on going on. Ironic. It's out of 20 teams. And I've talked about 6 teams that is completely overhauling and doing things like that. So it's clearly showing that that's the case right now. All right. It's about who have the highest development, have the better chance of actually evolving. Period. So whether you like it or not, that is the reality. So if you keep on hiding away from the reality, all you're going to go towards is just a pick of a chance. You're just trying to say that, oh, let me do it 60 times, and then the one single time in life it comes off, then you rave for the next 55 years. That's what it's going to be. You get me? If we can't reach to the level of development. And that's just the facts, guys. I'm very sorry. For the next 20 years, Jamaica, local alone cannot do it. So than you, Jamaica, I don't think you actually have the statistics what I have. It's not possible that you're going to keep on dreaming and lose yourself in that dream. All right? Yes. All right. So what I'm going to do, I have my phone here. You can call in when you want. I will open a Discord as well to Jason and others. Yes. All right. But let me know if you disagree with me. If you disagree with me, let me know. Because I think the people that's dealing with football in Jamaica, at least Mr. Speed, that's what he thinks, and he's the one that's doing it, and he just found that out. And I knew it's because he's dealing with different persons now. He's realizing that this is the only way forward. You could have used that excuse if you never had other competitions in the country. You get me? Yes. But that's the only way it's gonna happen. So make sure you contextualize it, because I know people only can come up and think one way. For me, I am thinking exactly as how I've said it. Jamaica success now, that is the way forward. It can't go any other way. And I want one of the super minds, the super educated minds that's hiding in the shadows, that we can't find them in Jamaica football. I want like Dan Youth and those man turn up and provide that. And I believe me, you'd have realized how far behind you there. Because nobody in Jamaica can't come and tell me otherwise. It's not even possible. It's not even a conversation. I'm not asking you. All right? I'm not even asking. I'm telling you that's the only way. So the flipped of the kind is literally the overseas personnel. So for instance, even if a Jamaican goes overseas, we have Shamar Nichols, we have Leon Bailey. It's called development because it doesn't matter how good you think you are. You're playing with people in Jamaica. So really and truly, you don't know how good you are. Leon Bailey, them testing themselves at a higher level. They are getting trained at a higher level. So it does not have to necessarily be a overseas barn if that's what you're worried about. I'm just saying the persons that go through the highest development, those are the individuals that can do a lot more. Clearly, Dan you talks as if he writes like as if he doesn't know nothing about the football aspects of the game. And I am just telling you that those persons are easier to repeat. Look, for instance, we just brought in a man, Mr. Al Grimson. What you heard Al Grimson said, the higher level persons will catch on faster. So why then you never question Mr. Al Grimson when he said the higher level persons will catch on faster? The youth them in the nation, they will get more practices because they need it. But the higher level persons, they will catch on faster. That is exactly what I'm saying here. But it's just coming from Mr. Al Grimson, so you think he's saying something different. But that's exactly what I've just said. You get me? Yes. So make sure you contextualize what I'm saying properly. All right. Yes, I want to see the Caribbean teams come together and play more friendlies to give these young players some experience. Yes, but they have to fix in-house first before we can get those experience. In-house has to be fixed before. All right. Yes, a lot of people pass through. All right, so and this is the number. So Dan, I have a phone number you can call in 466 324 71 and explain to me why you think different. All right, yes. So that is the phone number you can call on the WhatsApp. JD, I see Manchester United sub on a 17-year-old today. So I don't understand how people say a 17-year-old are not far apart. I told you that's a false statement because in the same competition that we are running right now, you show how big of a false statement that is. Because you realize United States and Mexico, they are so far superior to a lot of teams, lot of other players. That's not an accurate statement. I told leader in front of his face. It's not an accurate statement. Leader said they played a game and competed with someone, get a draw one out of 60 million times, and then say they can compete with everyone. You have to have the majority in your favor, or at least reach quarter of a whole thing. But if you said 1 out of 100 and you're competing, that makes no logical sense. You understand me? Yes. I hope this question is not distracting. But when did Jamaica start to prepare their U17? When they started to prepare their U17, I thought it was a long time, because we said it was early on, but it was longer than what we first thought. We first thought it was like 6 months ago, but no, he had the job for almost 2 years. That's what they had said. And I am sure that he had the job for more than 30 months because he said something in a clip that led us to believe that he had it from a long time, because he said it that he had it from a long time and he had his team already prepared and he has to put some more personals in it. 80, not too bad, JD. Coach ran them into the ground. They pushed the Canadians around. Yes, man, and they got chances. They got chances. All right. Tennessee said, JD, we learned nothing, bro. We keep letting these coaches messing up the national team. All right, all right, all right, all right. Shakpo, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right. So All right, so we have Neil calling in, and then we can get Cataract in. Massive respect, Neil. How you doing, man? Hope all is well.
Wagwan, JD.
I am here, just trying to put out a proper organized video, but I'm
Yeah.
expecting to see some pushback in the comments, and we saw 2 or 3 people, yeah, but we're just trying to educate people as normal, yeah.
JD, nobody worry about the pushback. Because pushback will come from certain people. But
Yes.
what me have to say around him as JD, it come like we are growing in a circle with every national team, Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
And if you a red flag from before, we already know say the coach never pick the best players. You see? And all you're going to a tournament, see? And you send back players say them a go forward too much, all kind of foolishness. So so you want to just defend the world to him a tournament and play like him as a long ball? JD, let me tell you, man. If we are going to a tournament and we're not going there with the best players, it don't make no sense. I mean, I know who many things we are going to qualify because even if we beat Guatemala, USA would have dumped you. Can be sure they say USA going to dump up Guatemala.
But I've heard
Then,
people saying that we can beat United States, and people that persons Jamaica perceive as sensible said we're gonna beat
mm-hmm.
United States. I've heard that literally here on YouTube. I've heard that. Yeah, I'm
JD,
saying I'm saying, see, these are the madness, because if you put these people in position, you must be a madman. You understand me? Yes, you must be a madman. Guys, we have opened the lobby, so if you want to join the conversation, you can also call in. Yeah, finish your point. Continue, Neil. But I'm just
and
saying I've heard people
and
say
JD,
that. But I can tell you that we
even
have no chance to beat. We had no chance to beat United States. None, like 0%.
JD, even the coach Bradley Stewart come out and talk about Mason Greenwood situation. The first thing you man talk about, oh, if we pick Mason Greenwood, it's going to look like we buy a Stewart overseas player. What does have to do with this conversation? See? So I tell you, say, most of them people here, where say them big in a football, I don't know where Bradley Stewart them do, but then say them have some kind of big coach. I don't know why them get interview. Them are all man in Jamaica for football. Football which a place along JD, where if we as fans can see people that went in charge of football can see. Either we are enter competition, we just showcase players. I we are trying to prove to them are trying to prove to the fans that local players can do it. And most of them are trying to cause we not understand the situation of because every country team a JD are trying to get the best players. Guatemala,
Your line kind of I don't know what happened to your voice. The line gone bad.
are you hearing me now?
Yeah, man, me I hear better now. Way better now, yeah.
No, me I say Bradley Stewart when they asked him about the Mason Greenwood situation, the first thing he come out and say he might talk about overseas player and bias towards
Yeah,
overseas player.
yeah.
So JD, me don't know what kind of relevance them people have in a football. That's people that interview them people that
Uh,
talk about football.
we're
Me
we're
can
we're
understand
we're
what them
we're,
people do.
we are struggling at this point. What happened? We are struggling at this point with a complex. We just can't grasp the understanding of why. Like normal, I don't know how, but it's a thing. We are just struggling. We are just struggling to understand what reality is at this point. You get me? And the reality is, it's just not the persons that they saw beside them will give them that success, and they can't accept it, so they are fighting to prove that the persons that they have beside them can give them the success, and that's going to take 25-30 years, and by the time they try the 25-30 years, the others that they're trying to compete with stepped up 25-30 years as well. So it's just a false pride leading them down a bad path, period. You understand?
JD, we in a position. The fan so hungry for success. Even if it, cause most country in JD, most of them big country.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about under 17 for him a football. But
Mm-hmm.
we so hungry for success that even if it's an under 9 team, them put out, people are going to criticize them.
Yes, yes. True, true.
Because if people them are continue the same thing over and over, and them a try, I don't ever try them a try prove to the fans say if players, the local players, them can do it by themselves. Maybe that them a try do. But me can understand really because even in Guatemala, El Salvador, everybody are go for them best players in the US. Them not have these kind of players where we ever play in the top league. But them are go for the best players where they can find in the United States. And we as a country, and for them league even better than ours.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
And you are because many times you say Jamaican player live Ghana, Costa Rica, Ghana, Guatemala, Ghana.
Ben Boo from Walthouse, Ghana, Costa Rica, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it
And
sounded to him like it was a big step up. Like he must say, yes, nice, I'm glad to be here. So
yeah,
why
and you go tell
yeah.
me now say, and you go tell me so now we have the kind of players where we have, and we don't want to select them like we are trying to prove something.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to tell me him a JD and you not pick the best players them as a coach, the way I tell we say. And then you go talk about, and then when you lose now, you come out with all kind of bag. Because you hear people talk about not preparation, JD me now want you not about preparation. The coach say you get everything when we want.
Yes.
And that's the coach say.
Yes.
So you can come out now and talk about the coach never get no preparation. Me now want hear from nobody.
Yeah.
Because the coach going at the tournament, instead then get everything what they want, brother. So that because every time you're going to a tournament, look at Fuzzy. Every time you're going to a tournament, and when the tournament done, they come out and attack. Nobody know you're nothing from the brother. One never say before the tournament starts, say preparation no right.
Yeah.
Why after the tournament done, everybody come out and make excuse. Oh, the coach never get enough time with the players them, and we look on that. Brother, him and they not really finish in JD. Look how Jamaica play today. Play long ball, brother.
Yeah. It's
Definitely
depressing, boss.
no midfield.
Yeah, it's definitely depressing.
It's depressing, brother. And people can try to make all kind of excuse to them and more make excuse about the coach. Well, the coach never get, and this man will get 2 years with team, and that man, daily football change.
Yeah.
Nobody now left from them club come to Jamaica for 2 years consider with no coach. Zin?
Yeah.
If you are going to pick the best players, you are going to know from before, say, you have to have some kind of skill set to bring the team together, brother. Nobody now going to left but no camp, but no 2 year camp, and them foolishness there. And it's just local players you going to use. And maybe that team them can go in a camp for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, me no want nobody excuse from the people. A man just never pick the right players them, and people know that from before, and people still make excuse about coach never get enough time with players and coach him and look on this team or this team prepare for much year. Look on America. Most of America players them are playing in a MLS. Some of them are playing over in England and in England. So what happened to them? They're not in a preparation. Because we know them can take to them team have them not 2 years for the camp.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, brother. You see what we are do? What we are do? Right now, it's in a field, brother. And if people are hungry for some success, and me don't know who I stop them from picking the best players, them play for Jamaica. Every time you hear people attack them and say,
but
oh,
Neil, remember perception is reality. They perceived the players on the island as the best players them. That's what they have perceived it as. I've listened to all they talk when they're watching football, and that's what they keep saying. So that's why when I'm coming here to say that the only way Jamaica gain any success is to get the reversed. The icing that they are talking about becomes the cake, and then you have to get the icings off the island right now due to the fact that football has risen to a different level of education that we just don't have at this point, and it's taking a while for we to get there because of a lot of reasons, maybe out of their hands, which is true, which could be true, because we don't know if that is true, because we saw Guatemala, which is not a rich country, we saw Haiti, and all of those countries, they are playing better football than us, period.
Better football.
So
better
to a certain extent it might not be true, you get me? Yes, but it's just what they have perceived it to be. And I've watched other, because clearly it's not all of them. Most of these guys won't want to talk to me because clearly I don't come off the way as the personnel that I'm going to look at your excuse and tell you that you're not talking BS or not tell you the actual truth. You get me? I'm not I'm not in that level anymore where I have to tell a lie to none of these people for them to
Yeah.
respect me. I'm not in that mood. So maybe that's why I don't come off anymore so Jamaican anymore, because that's the difference, because we have to lie to a lot of people to keep them in certain loops. And I am not going to do
Yes.
that, you know? But the truth is we just don't have that, we can't compete with that level. We can't. That's why I wanted Jamaica to play United States. It's not because I want him to embarrass Jamaica, because I just wanted to have it on tape for the people to see the difference in level where football education is at this point. That's why I wanted him to play America. But I knew that they were going to struggle against Guatemala, because Guatemala more normal fundamentals that
Mm-hmm.
can cause problems, you know, because they cause problem against the best teams like the Mexicos and also America. So I knew that Jamaica would have had problems. They are not as good as the United States and America, but they will pose problems. So I knew Jamaica would have had problems with them. And to be honest, they were the far better team. They were not. It was not a close game. It was not a close game.
But
You know.
JD, why the United States are about MLS? Zin? And US and Mexico fight over players. Eh?
Yeah,
Why
but
the US still a go out and a fight to get players?
but
And US have such a good league.
Big Boss, what they tell you know why the public won't know that? Because why the Jamaican people inside Jamaica that wants the benefit of this crisis, what they're gonna tell you? Oh, don't watch no other team. So you're gonna know the truth. Say other teams that try go for players. Because the people not gonna read it and then they know nothing. And the people we should have tell them not telling them. So you see where the false pride could come from, Neil. That's
Yes.
where the false pride is coming from, because the people that's in the position that should be informing the public to accept these guys, they are the ones fighting against these guys. So they can't get a good welcome, and then we can't move past that 1998 barrier, because you see to the
Because
star and stuff, you know.
I told JD, because look, the United States have a MLS. And you must say MLS, I must say I think I want I
Mm-hmm.
think best league. Me not sure about that. But how them have such a league? And when you split them real team, about 2 or 3 MLS playing in team. We have a amateur league. We can't call it professional one than the amateur league. Because
Mm-hmm.
we're not fool. Then, and you're going to tell me, say, we are up against United States, we are up against Canada, we are up against Mexico, we are up against Costa Rica. And we feel like, say, if people who play in the amateur league are going to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So
Yeah.
I feel people feel like so we understand. I want to watch now that team I play. If
No,
the US can fight players and actually a war with Mexico to get a players,
but
why we just lay back
but the
and feel
pro
like
the
so we
pro
can
the
just pick up some local players and go
but
beat them?
but Neil, the problem is the reason why you talk like this is because you watch other football and you know the truth.
Of course.
So now that's why. But I'm telling you, ask any one of them come up. You see one named Daniel came in our chat, and I just he come up and I said, are we doing this and why are we doing that? And I explained to him. He never gave me no rebuttal because clearly he didn't know. You get me, just trying to find an excuse. Our people have become so egotistic. It's almost unbelievable. You get me? That's our problem right now. We have to just be more aware of our actual surrounding, what's required, and then try to adjust it from that. Don't start from me being great and then anything come after, because it's going to embarrass us for years to come if we take that approach. The approach should always be like we assess the people that we are dealing with first, so we know what is required, and then we try to get that. If we are trying to go on a long haul to state that, all right, then we want continuity, and we believe that we have to go in our core to build a core. Okay, no problem. But tell the people that, and then people can work with it. All right. Yes. But finish up a point, Neil, so we can take a few more calls, because I never wanted this to pass 2 hours. And guys, if you have missed the like button, what the like button does when you come on, it helps the video for more people to see it. All right. So once you come in and you like the conversation, you just hit the like button and leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you don't like it, you don't have to like the video either. You get me? Or you don't have to be a part of the channel either. All right. Yes, because we're not really looking for everybody to like what we're saying, because remember, we're trying to bring forward some changes, so it's not going to always come across as if like what you want to hear. because clearly I've seen what the trajectory is inside the land, and it's clearly most of the people in main positions, they are disrespecting the overseas people them coming in, and they don't respect them, and they don't think they need to be here. But for me, it's different. I know that that's what required, because everybody getting success, that's exactly what they're getting success. You get me? You cannot just get up and believe you're great and gain nothing. That don't work in the world. It's called education, and you need to get the education. If you don't have it, you cannot compete. You get me? You might seem like you're competing and get one result in 15 years or 20 years and say you're not doing anything. Well, that should not be considered as a good team or even a big team if that's what you're trying to look for. A result every 15 or 25 years and saying that you're competing, that's not the level that you need to go in life. Finish up your point, Neil. Sorry about that, yeah? I just have to make sure I put
Yeah,
that
man.
out.
Yeah, man. As JD. So when we say all them old man are coming and attack about we don't need Mason Greenwood because we have players and we have young players that come up and can replace Mason Greenwood. JD, me don't know, but it come like something wrong with them people, eh? Or they just hate people, they don't want to see nobody in the team who come from overseas. You understand? Luckily, I know some of them around the team. I will not know. JD, me tell you. Right now, me I tell you the truth. To Jamaica play football. When Jamaica go in a competition, we can't say Jamaica will beat no team. We just have hope. Say them will beat a team.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, that is facts. That is facts.
And hope we depend say them will beat a team. Brother, him and them just need to pick the right players them and put out the team and think about Jamaica itself. Nobody think about themselves.
Yeah, yeah, I agree on that statement. You know, I agree on that statement,
You
big
understand?
boss. Yeah.
Big up yourself, JD, man. Me tell you what I
All
say.
right. Respect, and thanks for calling.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, man.
All right, so let me get a few comments and then we can bring in the other guys in it. Ray Elvis says, sorry to say, the local them do not cut it, but I don't want to come off that way. Now I'm just trying to explain to people what's required. So now you know what's required, then you can set some strategical plans for 10 years down the line. I have no problem with that, but I'm saying if you claim to say you're going in to qualify, it's not going to work because you actually have teams. But what they have done, guys, is to pin that belief in your head to say that every 15-year-old are on the same level in life. You understand me? Even in your school class, all 15 years old are not on the same level. So I don't know why people would actually believe that in football. You understand me? That's what they cling down, All the levels are the same. It's not so far off. Absolute bollocks. It makes no logical sense. If a man in a classroom learning from 5 years old and you up on the corner or in a bed from 5 years old, you cannot compete with him. It's physical logic, guys. Let me stop lying to ourselves. All right. You can be a nationalist all you want. All the other islands will beat you up and go forward while you in your backward state of mind. What well said, Anthem, and I will keep that there until the next super chat come in. All right, let me bring in the personals them the Discord. All right, and guys, if you have time, you can go and look at Bermuda playing Honduras. Bermuda has a team that they picked majority of the overseas players in it. They only got one game so far, but go and check it out yourself and see what's going on. Honduras leading them 1-0 after 20 plus minutes, but go and look at them and see if you're impressed with their playing, and then you can use that to measure if you get all of them how they would have looked and stuff. You can use that to measure, man. All right, yeah, man. Let me bring in the persons them inside the Discord because we're only doing 2 hours on this video. All right, we want to make sure the message is out there. Just 2 hours, that's it. All right. Let me see. We have Africans and we have Martin. Martin, what say you? And then we bring in Africans right after. And Kataraki can join the Discord and give you a take. It's right there. All right. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Big up JD. Big up African and the chat and the viewers them. JD, my take is based on the World Cup qualifier with the man, the under 20 with the girls, the female World Cup qualifier, this under 17 qualifier. the big difference with all of them qualifier there, it is the level of how the Jamaicans them think when they come on to overseas and local born player. Because we can't understand and we don't get it. Because them still have the mindset say the national team have to develop players. But when we watch worldwide football, the national team have to the best of the best. And me don't understand why even when you said these persons where are control the football in Jamaica have it in their mind say at the national team have to develop the under 12, the under 15, the under 17, the under 20. And them themselves to set things in place so these youths can come up to the level of a national program. And now me come to the conclusion, JD say the national program, it seems like if we showcase players, make players get caps on them profile, so when them in a them club, them can get a look out, them see the national underneath them name and them play this amount of minutes and this amount of caps, and they might get 1,000 off of them head. It circle back right round this about JD. So as when you say it look like we are go back right now one circle. Because just looking from the broad scale of everything in a Jamaican football, it have to lead to that because it don't make no sense. Every country I try to get the best of best players in a them national team and we are push them way and we are try say we are develop and when we check them as it is for over 20 years after 1998 and we not see no change. So is a next 20-year cycle where we're not going to see no change.
Yeah. What point there? Solids. Make a point, Bossy, because there are 4 persons inside the discard, and then they get a chance to talk, and that's I mean that shut off the phone call. So give your take, and we can
Okay.
go back in a discard, and if anything, you can go there if you want.
All right. JD McCollin tonight. Um, here you say solids. You did 100% right. I'm calling in to get my credit on the back of Jamaica losing is a sad thing, but it's just the fact, JD. It turned out exactly how I stated to you and how I predicted it. I said to you, this team is not built for coming from behind. It's what exactly happened. I said it's a penalty shootout at best team when it gets deep into the tournament. I stated that the kid Rolando Barrett, who scored that stunning free kick, he was one of the most disciplined players. You saw how he stepped up and scored a brilliant free kick to bring Jamaica back. Now, what more does the JFF have to see now that the local coaches doesn't cut it at the international level? I hope this is the moment now because me and Manningsman had a back and forth the other night. Manningsman had the audacity to tell me that Rene Simoes stated that Jamaicans should learn to enjoy football without the ball.
Okay, so then but even if that statement is true, what part of that statement is applied in that U20 competition? Because they're trying to run down the ball, but they just can't get there. Because what if you don't have a person that's educated enough to put people in the right locations? They are just gonna
What I
run
told
up and
him,
down like
what
headless
what
chicken.
what I told him, JD, is there's no way you can score without the football other than a own goal.
Mm-hmm.
That a
No,
one
but the
thing.
statement could be right. The statement could be
Mm.
right. But I'm saying, how does that affect this Jamaica team? Because look, if you want to enjoy it without the ball, but if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't study the opponent, you're gonna still look lost out there. But finish your point, because I don't want the other guys them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. JD, To me, that sound like when my cousin them I play football, I'm a little and them tell me to stand up behind the goal and when them kick you when me run go catch the ball and pass it back, give them to play again. That's what it sounds like to me. That's not fun. I don't want no coach telling me to enjoy the game. I want a coach to tell me, guys, enjoy the game with the football. Be relaxed, enjoy having the football. Because we see what the results of not having the football does. You chase the game. You chase the football game. I don't like that logic, JD. That to me, that's a backward logic. Enjoy the game without the football. It's called football, and it means having the ball and scoring
Yeah, but
goals.
JT, like, sometimes you lament on the points them too long, so you start believing
Mm,
at one point because I don't think that's what he
mm,
meant by that statement. It does not
mm.
mean that, oh, we should just run up and down for 25 minutes, 90 minutes and don't have the football. It simply means you should be happy to run to get the ball back. So I think he's saying the same thing as what you're saying. But if you look, persons that don't enjoy the football without the football will not chase to get the football from the person. So I think that's what he meant. Maybe he never knew how to
Okay,
explain
JD,
I
himself
understand
properly.
it.
Yes.
I understand you,
Yes.
JD, but I would
Cataract,
want my
wait,
make
players.
solid,
make solid finish. I just want it.
solid.
Cataract, I want it.
I want,
Solid. I want
Me,
solid to finish
JD,
his
I want to
point.
ask Solid
Cataract,
if you ever
JD,
heard Renee
cataract,
Simone make that statement.
cataract.
Because that is totally the
Cataract,
opposite to what he
all right,
said.
sorry, just finish your point. I don't want this to turn into a five six person attack one time. So just finish your point, solid, so I can
all
just
right.
go to the
No,
discard.
all
All right,
right.
yeah.
What I'm saying to you, JD, is I understand what you're saying and the logics, but I would not want to place that logic in my player's mind. I would do it the opposite way of saying, I want you guys to feel comfortable having the football and having as much possession with the football as possible. It's because that's what we've been seeing with Jamaica is not having the football. And I then went on to say, is it a thing that Jamaica is just not figuring out ways how to get the football back from other teams? You can also look at it as like that because that's what's happening when Jamaica has possession. We don't look comfortable with the football. It look like it's actually working, that we're enjoying the game without the football, and it hasn't been getting us the results. And it's coming from this mindset. And I'm saying that a coach like Marion Garden, they're just not built for the international game. He needs to leave Jamaica and go develop himself as a coach and then come back and coach. Because we saw a Guatemala team look very composed. Guatemala kept passing the ball to that black kid on the left hand side and trigger the attack every time. And Marian Garden never did a thing. He just left it open all the time. That kid just get the ball and trigger the attack. That's not rocket science. Somebody need to say, you need to shut down that play. That's where they're starting the play 90% of the time through that kid and the number 11. I don't know how how we can educate our local coach to understand, say, when that's happening, you make a chess move to close that down. It just keep happening over and over and over, and then we reverted to what we're known for, start kicking the ball long and hope when our players them strong enough to push down somebody and catch it and score. And it happened last night again. But it's just sad that I had to come in and call on the back of Jamaica losing. But guys, me blame the fans them as well. Why we keep
JT,
having our
JT,
hopes?
hold
Yeah?
on, JT, 7 minutes there, you know, and me can't get the body in, you know. Finish up your point, JT, we can have a next show where you chop it up. We just see that try step and what have we learned. But if you take up half of the 2 hour, me can't get
Then
nobody
may I
in.
finish up, but that's
Yeah,
what I've learned,
so you
JD,
just
and I
gonna
hope
start
I'm
cuss the fans
finishing.
them. You just gonna start cuss the fans them and you're gonna take over the whole show. And me can't
No,
man.
man, I do that. JD, one more minute. One more minute. What I'm
Alright, finish
saying,
your point, my guys.
I need to blame the fans them as well for keep having hope that we actually gonna qualify when we have the same kind of coaches them doing the same kind of madness, bro. You can't do the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It's just obvious. These guys are not ready. I'm out, man. Thank you.
Alright, alright. Alright, so Cataract, go ahead, Mr. Cataract. Say a piece so everybody get to see their piece, and then Africans can come in right after that. All right, and we come straight back to the chat. So I'm not avoiding your comments. I will come to it. So Kato, can go ahead, boss. You have the floor.
Okay, I'll be quick. First of all, I just want to defend Rene Samoy. He said no such thing, and anyone who said that is telling a lie to the professor. In
Okay.
fact, he said a totally the opposite. That we must, me hear that bad because
Okay.
right? He said that we must possess the football, and if you have possession of the football, the other team cannot score.
Which
He
is
went
right.
and deliberately brought Peter Cardiel, who was playing in Israel, to
Mm-hmm.
come and anchor the midfield. And the fans used to get upset because of all the back passing and side passing. And we would have 20, 30 passes, 15 passes together before Whitmore would try to dribble with the football, right? As the attacking midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Or Paul Hall would sprint down the wing, Andy Williams. Right? So this that is not true. I hope I can just put that in, right? Which is what I was trying to say. Sorry, there was 1 7 minutes based on something fast that I'm not getting. But onto this, what just happened, JD. I will follow very disciplined in however you want to structure the
No,
discussion.
man, you can go ahead.
Um,
I just never wanted five people talk and then the confusion starts.
no, no,
Yeah, but before
no, no,
before
man.
before you continue, Katarak, guys,
I'm
we have
talking.
before you continue, guys, we have 120 people. We have a hour on the clock, and we have not hit 100 likes as yet. All right, so for the people that comes here and normally support us, just definitely smash the like button, and get us up to 100, and get us up to even 150. Any amount it can, because we don't come here asking for nothing aside from hitting the damn like button. So if that's the thing, you can't do, I can't help you there. All right, yes. Yeah. Continue, Katarak.
All right. So I take no pleasure in the result that happened. But as I said to Siobhan in the chat, our worst fears when we saw the team continued against Trinidad and Tobago, what happened against Guatemala was our worst. And we were given all the assurances by the coach. And so I am unwilling to listen to any excuse apart from that the JFF, given some time, needs to come and speak to the fans about the battle and give us an explanation and give us a plan that says this does not happen again. Because JD, the truth is that this is what we've been doing for several tournaments over a decade. And as a matter of fact, in the last 2 years, we got knocked out of the under 14 tournament in Dublin, it was in the group stage,
Mm-hmm.
beaten by some minor teams. I think one of the ABC island, Curacao or Martinique or Guadeloupe, something like that. We were told that is because we have COVID, because nowhere else had COVID except Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We hid from the under 15 tournament, the men's under 15 tournament, which Haiti went on to win.
Mm-hmm.
Under 17 girls, failed. Under 20 girls, failed. Under 20 boys, failed. And now under 17. So we have a quinella. We failed on the full gamut. And so it can't continue and in the same vein. And we need the JFF to tell us a plan. Now, I don't know how you plan the structure. I'm going to take about another 2 minutes and then I'm going to relax. And I hope you give us I'd love to hear the chance when we get to assess the game and when we get to assess the players and then assess the coach. Because what happened in the game against Guatemala is exactly what happened in the other game. You got to 75 minutes, and the team run out of gas. Couldn't sustain themselves to 90 minutes, and the other team would score in the 70th, 75th minute around that time, and then score again in the 80 something minute. Well, luckily this time we didn't give away a goal in the 80 something minute, but our keeper had to pull off two, I think, wonder saves to keep the scoreline reasonable. But I think the scoreline flattered to deceive us, right? The scoreline flattered to deceive us. And we must take no pleasure from the scoreline because that was not a reflection of the game. JD?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, may I hear me? It's
We'll let Africans come in, and then I would have a chance to look at the solution. But I told you, remember when we first started chopping up about this under 17, in the middle of things, I said to you, there are three dates: the 5th of January, the 19th of January, and the 20th of January. When I come back, I'm going to give those revelations about those dates and demand some serious answers and explanations from those in charge who, unless they can prove otherwise, would have given the Jamaican public absolutely false information.
Okay, all right.
Amanda.
All right, so Africans, what say you so we can go down to the next 45 minutes. So Africans, what do you have to add to this before I come straight to the super chat? All right?
No, for sure. Thanks for everyone. Things I learned from this. On Jamaica specifically, squad construction. This isn't against the players that were selected, but if your coach is only trusting 13 to 14 players out of a 20-person squad when you're playing back to back every other day, you're limiting your ceiling for success, right? I said this with the Girlz U17, right? There are teams who come to win games, and then there are teams that come to win tournaments. And in terms of how the coaches use players, Jamaica has gone to the last three to win games and not to win tournaments or qualify. And I think that's something that has repeated and has to improve. Whether or not they have the best team, that's another conversation for another time. But I look at these tournaments, I look at the first two games, and I ask, and within then I say, okay, these 6-7 teams are trying to qualify. These other teams are just here to win games. And that's something that's always evident. We can talk about recruitments, we can talk about local over, we can talk about coaches and what their level is, but it always comes down to me to man management, especially here. I don't think Jamaica did a good job in terms of managing minutes, especially in Guatemala at the altitude. I think learning from that is important, but starting the process early is always what I'm going to go back to. If they need to start this more than just 4 months before the tournament starts and have a coach already know what's happening. Take the time, see as many players as you can, build those relationships, then assemble the best team. You want to give people's caps? Give them friendlies outside this tournament. The tournament isn't for showcase. Those other caps, those other camps are for that. When you reach these, you should be putting your best foot forward. And this is the same criticism I have for Jamaica that I have with Canada. So this isn't piling on them, but that's all I have to add for this point.
Okay, great. No man, the reason why I was getting some lags, I hope I can improve it, because I was getting some lags, so that's what I was trying to fix. So the super chat, let me try and get the super chat up and running from this. Good point, Africans, good point. Let me get the super chat right here. All right, yeah. Saying you did not pick the team. Get up, stand up, Bob dead, Marcus dead. It is your time. No, pick it and demonstrate against all hypocrisy going on in Jamaica, and there is a lot of cocking are choking the youths. Okay, all right. Yes, I'm trying to see, but let me know if you're getting any lags on my system. All right, because I'm trying to press the thing, but nothing showing up. So let me know if you're getting any lags. All right. Are you guys hearing me, Africans?
Yeah, but there's some logs with the call.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm
just
hearing
finish up
you.
the
Similar.
let me
There's a
just
bit of a
finish up the
lag.
2 hours, and then
Just
that's why.
hearing a lot of echo though.
Okay, the echo just come from here. The echo just come from here, Cataract. All right, but I think we have sorted it out. Yeah, man. So let me move over to the stats that you say you wanted to talk on. I'm gonna try and put it up on the screen. Um, so we can.
While you put it up, JD, can I just respond to something that Africans said, please?
Yep.
Africans, I know you're trying to be diplomatic in a Jamaican environment. There can be no sugarcoating of what took place. We finished in the bottom half of 20 teams, right? The round of 16
Mhm.
that is knocked out there means in a tournament has 20 teams taking part. We finished in the bottom. That's the reality. There is no lesson to be learned. There is no, oh, this is a good thing. Um, Make sense out of nonsense. There's none of that. What I hope Jimmy will allow is us to discuss what can be a serious way forward. Um, just face with the truth. We were not at the race with Guatemala. They were the better team, and the better team won on the night. When the other them a laugh after we in on the Concacaf team, and they put up a picture of the goalkeeper when he was celebrating the penalty save and saying, "Oh, laugh now and cry later." I don't think that hurt us. So, make up yourself. Canada has been growing in this tournament, but we have to pull the scab off the wound to make us concerned.
No, like Haddock, I get what you're saying there, and I don't disagree overall with the following, but the reason why I'm hammering on winning the tournament is like, and this is something that me and JD will talk about later, probably in a later video, is with how the format changes, you don't have that type of wiggle room. You slip up anywhere, your chance of moving on in these is done. And if you're not building the habits of bringing your best teams, bringing all the talents, yeah, you one slip up, the slip up they had against, I've already forgot who they lost to. That is the difference between having a chance to make to the World Cup and just playing in
Guadeloupe.
group game. Guadeloupe, yeah. So, like, if you're not building the habits of looking at it, there's more things I could say, of course. I think the way that they've recruited has been terrible. I think how they've ran camps is terrible. I say this about Canada all the time. Don't just run camps 4 months before. Use that time overall. Run camps not just in the southern US. Go to England, go to Europe. You want caps? Come play against insert team here. You can do these things. You just have to plan and be purposeful with it. If not, yeah, we'll see you in the group stage every 2 years.
All right.
Africans, when a team is going to play in a World Cup, right? We go and find nations that play like that team and get a friendly match against them, right? So teams came to play against Jamaica as we were from the CONCACAF because they had Mexico in their group or Canada. So they were looking for a game against a CONCACAF team. So we had to play Guadeloupe, um, Guatemala, sorry, Guadeloupe, Costa Rica, and
Cuba.
Cuba.
Yes.
And our preparation consisted of playing 2 games against Trinidad and Spain. Where was the preparation for Honduras? Where was I don't know if you know we're going to get Honduras. Where was the preparation to play against Costa
Mhm.
Rica, for example? We had not one friendly match against a Central American opposition.
Yeah. They chose the closest thing. And you can look in retrospect and say it was a terrible choice, but you have to do more than just that. You can't just say, yo, let me just fly over quick to this neighbor here and play. Is it an improvement? Yes. But just because you've improved doesn't mean you've reached standard. I can applaud you for trying, but if you said you're gonna run a mile and you've taken 5 steps, I'm not gonna applaud you for taking 5 steps. Where's the mile? They have to continue to improve. They have to continue to reach these levels, and that means they have to push themselves to do that. If you're just gonna sit back and do nothing, then what's the point? I would love, for example, if on a local level, if you took this team, found a coach, and says, you know what, let's just put them in insert league, have these guys play together, put them together, continue to grow. But then when you have windows, go somewhere. Find other players who maybe tried out or are on a different track. Just because they made this team, and this is like one of the things with youth tournaments I always say, it's a snapshot. This isn't necessarily the trajectory. It's very possible that all these players here don't develop. It's possible that you have one world-class player here. And it's very possible that there's 7 world-class players who didn't even sniff this camp are going to develop. Did you give yourself a chance to at least be in the running when they want to choose a nationality? Or are you going to wait until they've done something and say, well, they don't want to play for us? Now is the time to build these relationships. That's where camps are important. That's where friendlies are important. That's where all these things are important. If you want to wait and say, oh, they're going to be the icing on the cake, remind yourself and actually look back to what was the icing, what was the cake in 98. And then when you actually evaluate that, think about how you want to approach these next 20 years, let alone these next 3.
So Bridget, so Africans, I agree with you. Again, you're saying things very diplomatically. Maybe because you're on a high going into the quarterfinal, and we there enjoying our sorrows. But let me say this: the overarching philosophy and the coach generally, genuinely believed that he could take an all-star Manning Cup and the Costa Cup team to Guatemala and qualify for the World Cup. That was his fundamental belief, right? Probably the most die-hearted exponent of local-based Jamaican-born players are world beaters. Oh, God, right? He means that the players at Arsenal Academy are no better than the players in the Manning Cup and Costa Cup, right? Because, as I said before, JD, if you're still here, and
I'm here. I was just trying to sort out something online.
there are 7 players at Arsenal's Academy eligible to play for Jamaica, 5 of whom expressed 100% desire to represent the country. One of whom is born in Jamaica. So the argument about needing citizenship and passport and documentation, they're going to have to explain that one away. And including JD1, whose mother said she would fly, accompany the child to Jamaica, and apply for his citizenship and passport at Cuba. Right? And he is a starting player for the Arsenal on the 18 team. So we're gonna need some serious answers to serious questions. No buttering over, right? And the question I would like to ask, and if I'm so given, and if there's a press conference and I am able to enter that press conference, I'm going to ask the coach, because he said that he attempted to recruit Zach Lovelace almost a year now, or several months, or something like that, did he?
Yes, something like that.
And I would ask to provide the evidence of that, because to the best of my certain knowledge, the first time that the coaching staff of the under-17 contacted Zach Lovelace's agent or his father or the player himself, but the player himself is a minor, was on the 20th of January 2023. the 20th of January 2023. And I say so without fear of contradiction. As a matter of fact, I go further to say that prior to the 5th of January, they had no contact number for the agent or parent of the young man. So I would be interested to see the evidence that efforts were made months ago to bring this player on board rather than the last minute scramble between the 20th of January and the 6th of February when the names would have had the team would have had to be selected and sent in.
Okay. Guys, let me know if you're getting any lags, all right? And make sure to smash the like button as soon as you come in. I was just fixing some things. I think the lag should be removed at this point. Yes, man. All right. Yeah, I do agree with you, dear Chatter, the way you present it, but they have to come out and say that aside. They did say that they were in contact with these players from a while back now. But the problem is when they do say something, you have people coming out saying what they think they meant, as if like they know that's not what they're saying. You understand me? Because they twist it completely around. Yeah, you get what I said? And they led other people down the wrong path to believe that these guys are in contact with the people, and it's Zach Lovelace never come anywhere based off the timing that they contacted them. So they did well to cover their themselves, but me and you know that the beneficial side from that is to get what you really want, which is maybe not bringing in all of these guys, are having a set number of the guys that they can actually bring in. Because he had said something in an interview on TVJ, which kind of slip out something, and I don't know if someone give him the information as if like this is the amount of persons that they're gonna add on it, because that's what he said. He said he had his own squad. He had his own squad. Um, and he's waiting to add a few overseas based players on it, and that was when they just did the pick, the selection. Africans go on the system and check out when they had John, when Jamaica, which group Jamaica would have been in. He came out that day and told you that he had his squad, and he's just going to try and find a few more overseas personnels. So that simply means you never really have, it never was like a fear shot. You get me? You already had a setup, and you just wanted people to come along and fit in that setup. You understand me? And people keep missing those things. Or even when he says something, it's like his words don't mean what he's saying. I don't understand that. Because he said that, and I said, people, keep this in your head, because I think it's going to come back important. And no, it came back fully, because they're trying to sell something as if like everybody get a fair chance. No, nobody never get a fair chance. Your team was picked before because you're trying to get continuity, which I'm okay with that. But you guys said the under 15 squad was there for 2 years and I'm okay with that. But stop selling people a false hope, because that was not the accurate thing. You literally say, your squad, and you're trying to look a few more pieces here and there. You said that live on national TV, and I can't believe people completely forgot that it's on YouTube. He said it from way before. So that's where I'm upset, because we are acting like everybody could have made a team. I don't get that feeling after the tournament finishes. I think they have a set amount of persons that could have made the team at that point. Maybe the next U17 coming in the future, it will be different. But this one, I think it's only a set amount of persons could have made this team. Like 7, 6. It couldn't be 15 and then 5 local players. It would have not happened. You understand me? Because they had their under 15 that they said they had them in camp for 2 years, and they believe in those guys, so they wanted to put a certain amount of persons on that. You get me? So I think every blame, if the team fails, the blame should go with the coaching staff, and they should be penalized based off that, because it's your idea and you had more of a bigger pool. You just never chose to activate that bigger pool. You went with a different strategy, and it never worked. You cannot promote a person like that. You have to hold them accountable and actually find them. So this he has to go up to the national team. I don't believe in it anymore. This should be a period where you get sanctioned based off what you did, because it's your idea and it failed. Let me know if you agree with that, guys, or you disagree. It's your idea and you failed.
Yeah,
JD,
yeah, JD. Cataract, because
yeah,
me
man,
have
come
a
in, come in.
question.
Oh,
Because me have a question leading to where just JD on a statement. Based on where we get where Miss Speed and JFF say why Marangana the third assistant coach to Mr. Grimm. Is it the case that because notice, because me believe say me say my A-license coach, right? The A-license coach.
I'm not sure about that either. I'm not sure about that either. That A license coach thing. I'm not sure.
Oh, not sure.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sure about that.
All right, but me yes say him one of the best, and them claims are one of the best in Jamaica, right? But as we cataract say, me not see no changes where where him with a evil grass, because it seems like the Jamaican coach them just a go stick in them always JD of just even if them get the knowledge, them not apply the knowledge. Them just a go back in them own ways and go back in them own mentality. And it seems like the same, because if him a film job for the third assistant for get grabs knowledge from Mr. Grimm and him assistant, do you guys believe say him might have the
But but look,
fi, fi, fi
but
get enough youth in Jamaica, even one youth?
But Martin, hear this. The under 20 training with the under 20 team that them never actually go nowhere. That's our leader talk about, you know. Me love how a man bring it out and said the under 20 team that we never actually go anywhere. That's the team where we are built for all long, you know. You understand me? Yeah. So continue. My God, the things that
but
these.
Martin, they and I can't see the comments, unfortunately, but I
No,
look back at
I
it and
will
I want
fix
to say
that.
this. JD,
I'm gonna fix all of that in the
when
future.
I
Don't
look at
worry.
the areas where we had problems, right? And this is what hurts me. I don't think you have to go and bring 20 players from the United Kingdom come and represent Jamaica. I don't think that's necessary. But what really got to throw a sign is, you see the key areas of the pitch where we had a problem is precisely where we had talent available who had no desire to play for England. And that is why I challenged the coach to say, who was waiting on England to call them? That caused the delay. I am waiting for an answer for that question. So allow me quickly, JD. Martin, everybody agreed that the central midfield was below standard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against Guatemala, they couldn't win a ball. Guatemala, the commentator kept saying, every 50-50 challenge, Guatemala. Here comes another time. Here comes Guatemala again, winning the ball again. Um, it's like a deja vu. I think the man did use that word, right? Those of us they coming like Groundhog Day. 50-50 ball, Guatemala run fit, Jamaica run fit, Guatemala win. Jamaica win the ball in midfield. In the next 1 second, Guatemala win. I'm not promoting anyone's thing, a channel or whatever, right? Because I still have association with it. But O'Shea Ellis and Callum Ibank, two 16-year-olds from Birmingham City, one is a CDM and one is a central midfielder, who play together in the Premier League on the 18, right? Because even though Birmingham City is in the championship, it plays in the PL 18, right? And I've played together for the past 3 years. Sat down on video for 15 minutes and did an interview and declared a full interest to play for Jamaica. And not one of them was contacted at the time and aided in getting their documentation.
But Cataract, who tell you say the coach them when we have here can evil coach them level of players there. We have to tell the truth in a Cataract because we can
I
see
do-
it. One we remember Tapa when Tapa Michael come. The people are saying that England said the man look like a headless fowl run up and down. Who say we have the coaches, we get these positions in our national team, play these levels of player.
Well,
Can even tell
man,
them to go. As we one commentator say, it seems like the player overseas player them have even more football knowledge than we local coaches.
well, I'm not going to go and stay there because they are employed. But what I will say to you is that there seems to be a failure, both in the instance of Fuzzy and now in Marion, of talent evaluation. To be able to look at a player, care about a player, and know whether this player is good enough to bring something to the table for the team.
Agree, yeah. Them lack of that. Them not.
That is totally lucky. And I will go one step further. When Zach Lovelace was first brought to the attention of the JFF and the U17 and the team manager and everybody, their response was that Dunstan Cohen a bigger baller. And he's playing in the JPL, and we have schoolboys who are playing in the JPL week out. I can span my mother lights here that it was when person insists that this dude is playing for Rangers. Sitting on the bench of a Europa League game. That someone started to get back and say, oh, well, academic players and things. The state, they need to come and they need to come to try. They need to come to the trials in December. Pay their own way and come to the trials. It was again when it was said, listen, how can a player who is contracted to a Scottish Premier League club get up and depart the club to come sit down in Jamaica for a month? It's outside of a FIFA window, but we had an entire FIFA window. We had an entire FIFA window in the month of December, November through to December when the World Cup was being played. My question to you, Martin and Edie, why did the JFF have a major camp, right? Major camp, including friendly matches, and seek the invitation of these players who are on scholarship contracts, and the two players, there are two of them, who have professional contracts, right? Even though they're 16-year-olds, they have professional contracts.
All right,
Wouldn't that seem to make sense to you? Because they could get the release on their club, come to Jamaica, integrate with the local players. The local players would be on holiday from school.
All right. Before anyone answer, let me just go past this super chat here. Tennessee, thanks for the super chat. Me hear some man attack Cataract. The other saying a certain player better than Jamari Clark when that player was only on trials at a club. That's what I'm telling you. It's a disease in our land to just be egotistic without no factual proof behind it. It's just a fact that's why I came out the other day and people said I'm bad-minded and all that thing. Tennessee, because I'm tired of it, man. Because I realize a lot of them selfish. They just want what they want for themselves. They don't really like Jamaica either. You get me? They're just making up stories to benefit themselves. You understand me? So it is what it is, Tennessee. You get me? Cataract a big man. Cataract should be able to defend himself, you know, at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did at the time, and I saw enough man skin up them teeth and say, yeah, let's not put it up another night. I mean it again. In May of 2020, 22, Jamari Clark was a superior striker to Dujon Richard. Cataract says so. If in the future Dujon Richards develops into being a better striker than Jamari Clark,
Yeah.
God bless it.
Yes,
I
simple
have
as that.
no problem
Simple as
because I
that. And
want the best strikers from
and
Jamaica.
I've actually
However,
I did respond to it, Cataract here, and I literally said I don't know if he's better than him now because I don't see this kid playing at no level. So then how can he be at no level? But we're not gonna go down this road. It dead after I'm finished with the statement because I want to continue on that. But it's just because the super chat said something. Until you can see someone somewhere. You get
about
me?
the idea, JD, about why we
Hold on,
utilize the World Cup window.
Let me finish now, bro. Let me finish now.
Oh,
So,
fine.
um, all I'm saying is, it's gonna always use this as an example. You realize a player don't have to do nothing, but because he's in the eyes of the Jamaican-born people, it can always be favoritism. I've heard his handler that spoke. Jamaica can win the entire World Cup with his players. Them, you understand me? You saw when the Jamaica scored, you saw the handler talk about his players them alone. So I can't understand. I'm just trying to show you the problem that's inside Jamaica. That's what's causing it. It's not just the JFF alone. All of them people are in a football at Jamaica. Them have the same delusional behavior, and them only want benefit themselves. None of them not like Jamaica. None of them not actually like Jamaica. The one of them just use Jamaica. That's them always say the liking, but the liking of a fool the people them. That are the propaganda. Because them know so from you said that and you said two good thing about Jamaica, then you're willing to listen because you're egotistic yourself. You understand me? So that's what them do and play on the weakness. But notice every time them come up and say them love Jamaica, right after that is a selfish statement come right after that. But you missed it because you're stuck on him just say a good thing about Jamaica. You understand me? But really and truly, him don't mean nothing about Jamaica behind it as well. Because when me hear it, I see people promote one player. I'm saying, but look at it now. Because people play on the field. And other people say, because I saw people put out super chat, and I'm saying, this is why we can't get better. You get me? Because everybody who claim this they want help Jamaica, just listen to a bias them talk. You get me? Yeah, man. Finish your point, Cataract, so we can continue. I remember we have a few more minutes. We have like 20 more minutes to go.
No,
Yeah.
I'd asked you a question, so I had played my part. I was asking a question about um, whether it is that why it is that the JFF did not seek to have an extended camp during the FIFA window that started a week before the World Cup and went right up to the day of the World Cup final, where they could have brought in the elite players who are at the elite clubs to Jamaica. Why was the camp had in January when the leagues restarted?
I don't know, but I don't think, be honest, I don't necessarily think they feel like that's a need. All right, I think how it's gonna go nowadays, it's like you make a step, you don't have to jump any extra hurdle. You can take your time. So now people will say, okay, we're making camps, we're making extra steps. That's something that we never did before. That's all they need, and then they will meet. Then the next competition pass, and then they take the next step. So you're gonna see like 5, 6 competitions pass, and they take 5 steps. So something that they could have completed in one cycle, they're gonna take 5 steps because that's how they have to drag their foot to get what they want, and still look into the eyes of the people that they're doing something because they come out in interviews until they say, "Oh yeah, um, big up Jamaica, Jamaica the best," and then use that now and then fling two more things were accurate behind it and then hide under the covers where the real truth is. You understand me? So that's all I'm saying. We have to really look and listen to them people well, and you realize yourself get right. Because I've been listening and I just don't say much, but I've been listening and it's not impressive at all. It has been terrible, man. Because this thing could have fixed because the coach don't have the full license to pick every player. You get me? Because he doesn't even know all the players necessarily coming to him. You get me? And I don't even think he might see all of the players then because maybe he turned back players before he even saw them. You get me? Yes, so that is the problem there. So you're talking about friendlies. We are trying to get even the people seen in the first place. So what about starting to make people seen? Anytime you think that they have the ability to improve the squad. What about that, Cataract? You can't step two stage because it's not possible. You get me? If you keep on taking the two stage, um, they're gonna keep on taking one, and you're not gonna even see that one, and then they're gonna turn up on platforms and act like that one alone, that's the only money they had to cover that one. You get me? And then you are pressuring them. So really and truly, they can always spin the narrative, and I think that's what they're gonna do again. So don't think about the friendlies coming in. Think about just make we get regular people can be seen instant. People can be contacted instant. You get me?
JD, you recall last year in the under 20, I was on your program, right? Um, we were doing a crossover, and you did come on Reggae Boyz commentary, and I came over here, and Leader was a guest, and he put in the comment section that for the under 17s, camps would be held in the United States and England. You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I asked him, when is the date for the camp in England?
No, but he said possible.
And
He said possible, and he used this, but he used it back to Annie around 4 or 5 times. Because it said he only said possible, so he only said possible basically. Yes, so possible. Yeah.
I heard him dog walk the statement back and added the possible in,
Mm-hmm.
right? No,
Yes.
hear me and tell me if this is sensible. 2 years ago at age 14, Zach Lovelace made his professional debut as a 14-year-old for Millwall Football Club, coming off the bench in like 80-something minutes in a championship game, right? He then played up to age 15. He played 5 appearances, I think maybe 6, but 5 I'm sure of. He had some appearances in the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it was known that Zach was of Jamaican heritage, right? Known. It would seem to me that if 2 years ago the JFF had said, here is a player who has passed the acid test of a UEFA Pro license coach at Millwall, passed the acid test of who is at the academy. He has passed the acid test for the Millwall scouts who go to scout players. He has passed the acid test to go into the under 18 team, to go into the under 23, and into the first team. That is 5 different pro license coaches who have seen this talent and said, this striker has something about him. Wouldn't you take that piece, seek to sort out his papers from 10 years ago, and then build the team on this piece? So you start adding. So for me, players who are amateur players, who are playing school, or vocational players who are playing schoolboy football, are the sprinkles that go on the cake. They are not the fundamental cake itself.
Yeah, but Cataract,
And
we have
we are
almost
seeking to, we are
Cataract,
seeking to.
Cataract. We have reached almost 2 hours, and you're saying the same thing of what I've just said before. The same exact thing, And so that's how long it took to come back to the same conclusion as what I've said.
No, but minds think alike.
All right.
Is that every day we have a war? Is that every day we have a war? No, but you said they were the icing. You said they were the icing. I am telling you that they are the sprinkles.
Okay.
And there are players in this Jamaican team, more than one, who have not played a competitive 90 minutes since October 2022, when the team was eliminated from the Costa Cup. So how did we think that 5 months later, or 4 months later, they were going to be able, that player would be able to run for 90 plus minutes at a higher level. It don't work like that.
All right, so hold on, big boss. People,
Yeah, man.
if you want this to run past the 2 hours, you have to put the likes up, and we're not talking about just put the likes up because we have 150 here, and imagine we are 2 hours. You see it? If we were here talking all sort of drama, then you would have been more glad to support that. But we're talking and how to develop things and be informative, and that's the one that you're not supporting. So if we don't get to 150 before the 2 hours, which is 7 more minutes, then we can't continue the show. The show will be finished, and then you have to just go somewhere else later or whatever the time is. All right. Yes. Let me go to the comment section. Mad Vibe said a player getting an academy trials is a national news. That should tell about our standards locally. All right, wonderful, wonderfully said, Mad Vibes. You get me? I see. Once you have said that in Jamaica, Mad Vibes, you cannot. It cannot even. They are not going to even try to comprehend nothing after, because the first thing they are going to say, you're bad-minded. When all you're saying that, look how we have other persons are not just looking at trials, they are in actual teams, and then nobody raves about them. They came here, they don't get no respect. Nothing set in place for them. So you're 100% correct, Mad Vibes, and that shows you at the same time what they do appreciate, and it's always their players. You understand me? Because they don't see the others as their players. Because it makes no sense supporting a person that makes a trials and the next person that's actually playing in at the highest level. You don't talk about the next one. You get me? Just like when Mikel Antonio broke a record for West Ham, and then Junior Fleming signed for Toulouse, and it was Junior Fleming's on the pitch. It was not Mikel Antonio. Nothing never said about Mikel Antonio, just Junior Fleming's. So I think if it can't work until people embrace. It can't work. The marriage cannot work until people embraced what's at hand. All right, it's not going to work until then. So I do agree with your advice. Boss Thomas says 2-2-2-2-4 is the future formation for from big coach Tennessee Lewis. All right, so we have Patrick says, I've been saying that these people are the ones destroying Jamaica's football. All right, and I based on what I've just said, it does not look like at them alone. It looks like it's the mentality of the people, as what Jay Taylor just said. The fans as well, they are a big problem, and not just the fans only. Not just the fans only, but everybody can be easily bought out. You're so fast, the Maverick jump and talk about people bad mind because he's in the same elements. He has no ability to think out the box. He has to literally just go with what they're saying because the peer pressure in the country is so strong. It's like a bullyism thing. You get me? So some of these people, yes, they should have balls and stand up for themselves. That is true. But the society that they are in, they can't even talk the truth. Not even the truth they can't talk. To be honest, people. You get me? Yes, man, because when I heard the man come on national news and the man I make some outlandish statement where we know a lie. But he has to say that because that's what gives them the clicks. And they are not interested in anything else. So, in order for Jamaica to be good at football, we have to be real at football. So we have to make sure we hurt people's feelings because majority of what we want, the pieces are not inside Jamaica, and that's what's going on in our entire region. So we have to stand up and make it count. And if we can't stand up, if we continue to act ballsless, you're going to have a lot of people that are not good for the culture and good for the actual people. Because look at this, guys. When you hear me over here talking about that these guys are the cake and the local guys are the icings, is not disrespectful. It's the simple means that they are producing more than one, and the overseas are producing at a higher level more than the local at this point. Remember, at the end of the day, it's the locals will get help in at the end of the day, because every money that you get via qualifications will go back into youth development. And remember, the reason why the local never get picked on an average before was solely due to the fact that they never had the development that's required. You understand me? And I've said some, not so you will still have the crack Jamani Bell came in, he played well in the tournament. People remember about him. So that's one of the players them that can keep on help himself because he might get a contract or something. So you will always have local players in the team, but you can't just set a standard to say that, oh, this is how it's going to go and it cannot go any other way. That is where people have problems, and that is what's aren't in Jamaica, because these coaches, once they are local, they come in, they have a set thing. We had a Reggae Boyz team. We love talk about we're gonna build on things, right? We love to talk about we're gonna build on things. We had a Reggae Boyz team that competed with Chile and all of those teams, and that was the only Reggae Boyz team that ever got raving reviews of people with high education in football says that they saw a system. I can play some tapes of 1998 and people saying that, oh God, the Reggae Boyz commentators saying that the Reggae Boyz coming with this big long ball thing and stuff. Thank God that the English guys them come in. If you want me to play it, I need to play these things so people hear, 1998, people never respect Jamaica football, They just believe that's a kick and run football, That's 1998, and I have commentators here saying that. So the only time Jamaica had raving reports was literally under Schaefer's. I saw people saying yeah, people, I'm not taking any phone call. I'm not taking any phone call. You have to work with the discard, all right? And I've covered enough bases. Yeah, brother, myself not take no more phone call. My phone not working. Me have problems, bro. So people just listen, man. So let's me finish my point, people. Please, me I beg you, please. All right. Me don't know why my show them can run so unorganized. Me say me can't take no more calls, guys. Me can't take no more calls. I said I have 2 hours and people have to hit the like button and go to the exact amount where it for go on, and then we continue the show. It not gonna be a prom push thing. People not pay for we light and we think them. Yes, let me finish my point. All right. Yes. Because people listen to my show and just decide when them are going to call in. When me say more people call in, that's when people are calling. We have a structured show. That's why we can't reach the way if we're not going to be structured. Join the Discord or don't call in by the phone. I'm very sorry. Don't call in by the phone or just join the Discord. The Discord is in the description. It's very easy to find. You just click it and go straight in there. Alright? Yeah, man. So anyways, let me continue of my point. Yeah? Because this call I just completely take away my point. You get me? Yeah, man. So all me just say is we need to just get real. It's either we're not good at football and we just want to have a bag of friend thing and then hold down the youths in the future, because if we don't win, we are going to only rely on free money from FIFA. We are going to only rely on free money from FIFA. Because we're not getting any sponsors, because sponsors don't believe in nothing if they ain't seen any progress at the end of the tunnel. If they are not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel, they are not going to believe in it. All right. So that's why you cannot get any sponsor whatsoever. All right. Look at this. 69 minutes. Puerto Rico leading Costa Rica 1-0. Puerto Rico was one of the teams that literally had all of the Americans on it. So that's a mini American team, and they are leading Costa Rica 1-0. Just let that sink in. So everything that we're talking about, you see what we're talking about. All right. Yes. So that we just leave it right there. Let me go to the rest of the comments now. Yes. The local are not looking at the long-term benefit of having overseas partners. It is just about the penny and the dollar. 100%. The commenter that came in at the start told us self-serving. Yes, indeed, self-serving. Yes, indeed. Cataract, please go on Google and tell us where Mexico U20 team finish. But up and running, if you have the answer, you don't have to send Cataract on it. We are here to tackle points. So if you know the answer to what you want, you don't have to send Cataract down on rabbit hole. All right. No JD. No JD. How much of these lack of knowledge fools that made rash statements come back and apologize to you for telling the truth? they're gonna always do it because it benefits them. I am going to say this with no apology. Marshall Rotty is the best U20 Jamaican in this region. Not such man. All right. If you don't know him, Google him. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So that's and these are mans that actually scouting players and stuff, and they're not going to agree with what you're saying. You know. All right. So let me bring back Cataract and the guys them. Guys, I was having some technical difficulties. The man never stop bad up the show and the stop mash up my equipment them, please. I'm suffering with some software problems. So just give me until the end of the stream, and then next stream when I call back in. Let me check it. So Cataract, let me check it. All right. So we don't read the 150. So let we finish off the show. Every man say them point, and we just come off, and the people go somewhere else. You get me? Yeah, man. We not nobody bad. Them have to actually. Them not putting a super chat. Them, no, I saw where I do them.
Africans in the house. They have beautiful good. They have Cataract.
No,
They have Martin.
Cataract.
They have
Listen to me.
JD.
Cataract.
And people still are.
Cataract, listen to me now. No, Cataract, listen to me now.
We can't make my point.
No, just finish your part and make everybody can say them piece and me done the show. That's what I just say.
Yeah, but this
No,
is my piece.
yes, so
Yeah.
just say your piece and make it be short so other people can say them piece, please. Because me say me I done the show, so no matter what, me I go done the show. Alright? Me I already said that.
The people them say you can't have such progressive thinking minds and commentators.
So that you go take up your time,
Right?
punch Cataract.
Level. That's my thing. And you don't
Alright.
even want to hit the like button and just show free appreciation for what is being done here.
Okay, alright.
I think that I
But
support that.
Cataract,
I have no more comment to make.
Alright,
But the
very good.
football, for stone and move.
No problem.
That's how me did that.
Alright, Cataract. Let's done this so make everybody can see them piece. Cataract, alright, that's okay. Jason Guna, say a piece. So we can just finalize. Remember, 2 hour midi plan for go. So and I like midi plan for go further. You get me? They made have to hit the like button to where I think it's needed. Lansdy, the show done, Lansdy. The show done. You cannot call into our Lansdy. I will call you after this. Alright? So go ahead, Jason, so that we can finish up the show. I want to go to my bed, yes. And it doesn't matter what time I'm going to my bed.
Yeah, so big up everybody in the chat. Big up everybody on the panel. Yeah. Look, what have we learned from this? So to me, what I have seen is a lack of proper talent evaluation. It's clear based on the coach's use of his squad that he saw many of his squad as inferior to the others. And I think if we weren't so naive going into a tournament at the altitude where it was, we would have understood that the utilization of the whole squad is extremely important for the success of the squad. So I think, a lot of us are beating the coach, but I think everybody that was a part of that technical committee that would have chosen the team all need to answer some questions, because it was clear that they had more faith half of the squad than the other half. And in the end, that story played out in us conceding 7 out of the 8 goals we conceded in the last 15 minutes. So I heard Africans saying we need to take some lessons from this. I think the main lesson is pick the best players possible, so that when we get into any situations of suspensions, cards, fatigue, we're not afraid to use all of the players.
All right.
I know you want to end off the stream, so that's my point.
Yeah, man. The next stream I'm doing for Jamaica, I can have everybody on the panel. People just turn up from early and then join the stream. I will do the stream yard so people can come on and then we can talk for 2 hours. But the bag of 3 and 4 hour stream, I'm not even interested in it, because what are we really truly gaining? When I can say everything in 5 minutes, and then because other people come on, it extended 2 hours. So 2 hours should be the longest. I want to watch other games. Teams that are actually good and doing things. the right way, so I can take more information that when I'm talking again next year in Jamaica, I will have that information. So I have no problem. Martin, say so what you're saying, and then we make Africans come in and then we chop it up. So whosoever miss it when it's 2 hours, you have to just join early. We cannot push the shows them beyond 2 hours because on a dance you keep and a cataract on this. All right, yes, on a dance you keep.
Yeah, man. JD, my last take is this on every Jamaican and everybody where I listen. The fact is, if Jamaica do pick the best team or pick a one Jamaica team, Jamaica will never see a next World Cup. Now under 17, if the females them take up the same style, if the men them still continue with the same style, we're not gonna see no World Cup, JD. And we hope say YouTube there in the next 30 years or 20 years. If Jamaica continue with this madness,
where YouTube, where you think YouTube will go? And Jamaica won YouTube, you know.
I don't know, me have some big account. But if serious talk, if Jamaica continue with this madness and these men where around the football in Jamaica, it's sad, and me not go rave over no more competition unless if me come and me come on the program and say a jokes I pick. Me not even go too interested, and me not even go trick myself, because in our work for 20 years, we go one time in a under 17 2000 level, and everybody has spin on that. We go 1998, everybody has spin on that, and we just now go nowhere as a nation in our football. We just have one local moment we go, and we live on it, and we're going to live on it in the next 20 years. So it just looks sad. Them not change.
Well said, boss.
And that's a fact.
Yeah, man, well said, well said. Anthem, thanks for the super chat. He said, yes, I think we even need police car at every training session, because an individual behavior can influence changes up the ranks. Okay, all right. And then Andrea said, yes, I am watching the game, while I'm doing my streaming. I'm watching the game, and I'm going to watch the next games after. The next round I will be doing it, because obviously I would get enough time to rest. All right. Yes, so I will be doing games, man. I'm gonna finish the tournament just the same. Don't worry yourself, man. All right. Yes, Africans, finish your point, big boss, and we can just shut down the program. All right. Sorry for the callers that call in. I have to start organize someplace. All right, pastor, you're too a slackness. You're going with pastor. You're a pastor. Work with principle. Cannot call the show 2 hours. All right. Yes, go ahead, you Africans.
What I was going to finish off and say is those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat it. And we're seeing the same trends happen over and over again. So until you make a change and actually try to implement it, good save, Puerto Rico. I think it's very important that they learn from this. And if there's one takeaway that I'm going to say that you need to improve, it's not only having a squad that is talented, having a coach who isn't afraid to play players and understand the longevity. That will go a long way in helping in things. But I'll keep it at that. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned, but again, we all know most of them. But that's where I'll end it off here.
Respect and thanks, man. Thanks everyone that actually joined. Jason, and all of them, and the moderators them for the discard. Believe me, I'm very much disappointed. Yes, I'm very much disappointed with all of the moderators them in the discard. You get me? And the moderators on my YouTube channel. My God, man. Every match you guys sell me out. I don't know where you're gone. Yes, but me I contemplate new things. I have up everyone on Jason, the whole everybody may have them up. But anyways, I'm gonna cuss about that next time. Let me read this next super chat, and I'm out here. Anthem, massive respect for the super chat. Tennessee, massive respect. Brain Drain, massive respect for the super chat, and all of the real people that hit the like button, massive respect as well. All of the real people who view the video as well and give their contributions as well throughout the chat. Thanks very much. Yes, because we're trying to aim for the reality, but sometimes the reality don't come off as what people think. Lance Lake, I have never done slackness. I am not. Pastor, I'm not gonna take the foolishness. I'm gonna call you. All right? Yes. If these players are our future, I am going to Mars. All right. So you're not pleased with the players that they have selected to be our future. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Romain, big up yourself. Thanks for passing through. But we are done. All right. So guys, that was the conversation we had, and what we learned from that, and it comes back to the end, a lot of frustration. Everybody's confused. A lot of things went wrong, and the people will be waiting yet again, like all the other previous tournaments. What will actually change? And even when we saw the success of the girls, them going to the World Cup back to back via doing what should be done, we can't see the need. So is it just because they are ladies and we are men, and it's just the men's of our society is the problem? Let me know. That will be a part of our next conversation going forward, because it seems like it's the men's ego of our society is the problem. All right, Umzo, you not pay my light bill, and them not pay my light bill. So me go whatever hour more want to go, and it's 2 hours. All right, nothing else. All right, peace out, guys.